this segment, what we're going to talk about is cutting balls. When you're cutting a ball in, what is that cue ball going to do? Now, if you're hitting it straight, you know it's going to go straight towards the pocket that you're shooting at a full ball hit. But what we're going to start doing is we're going to start cutting our cue ball into our object ball, and we're just going to start very slowly, like a 32nd of an inch, cutting it from side to side. Now, if you don't know what a 32nd of an inch or a 16th or a 32nd, you're kind of in trouble. You need to grab a tape measure and you need to figure that out. Very small distances. Now, what I've done is I have a spot here on the table. This is going to represent our object ball. Now, these lines back here, these little spots back here, are going to represent where our cue ball is at. Now, if our cue ball is on that green dot right there, it is lined up exactly perfect, right straight for this pocket, which goes to this green spot right here. And I have a green spot right here, which represents the distance from the joint on my cue. We have to have measuring devices, so we're going to use the joint on my cue, and you can use the joint on your cue because you're always carrying your cue around, to the end of your tip. Now, most cues are 28 inches. Most shafts are 28 inches. Mine happens to be 31 because I put an extension on it. But it doesn't make any difference if you're measuring at 28 or 31, as long as you're getting this circumference in here, it's going to work out the same for you. So what you're going to want to do is you'll put a spot on the table, and then approximately 2 diamonds back from that spot, I like to use right in the center of the table here, and out about 1 diamond, so that my joint will go right over that spot. You can see my tip is at the other end. Now I'm going to start right here, putting my cue ball. So I'll put my first dot right here. Then, as I measure over 1 inch, like if my cue ball, as it goes across these dots, my cue ball is right here, and it's going right over the center of that. You can see that the tip, from where the object ball would be to where the natural alignment is with the cue, is 1 inch. That means I've got to cut that 1/32nd of an inch off center is all. 1/32nd of an inch to make that ball go over this green spot. Now, we have 1 inch plus or minus on our tolerance down here in our pocket, which means if we're a 32nd of an inch over this way too far or a 32nd of an inch under, we can still make that ball. But our ideal, we want to judge that right straight to the center of our pocket. So if we're on a small pocket table, we can hit that. That's what we're looking for. Now, after contact, after our cue ball comes in and contacts our object ball, we know where the object ball is going to go. We don't worry about that no more. But where's our cue ball going to go? This is the important part. This is the cue ball control that I'm trying to get for you. Now, if you're 1 inch off center, you're cutting that ball 1 inch with high English, that cue ball is going to come right down into here. So that's from, there's my line, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. So that cue ball, you can count on going between 3.5 to 5 inches. Somewhere in that area is where that cue ball is going to travel through there. That's my ideal. Now what I've done is I put a piece of chalk back here on the back. So if I shoot that perfectly and I hit that green dot, cue ball is going to come down and hit that piece of chalk. Now the same thing is going to hold true for the 2 inch, the 3 inch, the 4 inch, the 5, the 6, the 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's where that cue ball is going to go to. Now how can we know how far over this is? Well, that's what these little dots are. You take a tape measure, and once you find the center of the first one, measure over 1 inch, you put a sticker, measure 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and I use the different colors so that I can say, okay, from 0, 5 inches over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right there. 10 inches over, another green. 15 inches over, another green. And I just consistently make these green, orange, yellow, pink, white. Green, orange, yellow, pink, white. Green, orange, yellow, pink, white. And then behind that, I'm putting my orange for my 1 inch, my yellow for my 2, my pink for my 3, white for my 4, green for my 5, orange for my 6, yellow for my 7. They correspond with 1 inch over, 2 inches over, and all that. Thank you. So what we're going to try to do is I'm just going to demonstrate for you. Now it's going to take you a little while to set this up, and it's going to take you a while to understand it. So you may have to watch this video 3 or 4 times. If you have your notebook with you, I want you to write down elki@hotmail.com. E-L-K with a hyphen in the middle. EYE@hotmail.com. You can text me there. I mean, you can email me there. And we can keep in communications. You can go on Facebook to Keith Simonson. And I will be happy to help you with any of this stuff. It doesn't cost you anything except pool games. All you have to do is learn how to do it and win. So let's do some of these shots just to demonstrate, and then we'll start breaking it down a little bit more. I'll put that there, this here, here, and here. Now, with precision, you can hit these pieces of chalk out here. So we put that straight on. I'm going to move over to the orange, which is, this is where the orange should be. So right now my cue ball, my object ball are lined up right here, right straight through there. So you can see I have about a 1-inch cut to the pocket. So let's see if I can hit that with a high English. Now, the distance down after contact is what we're looking for too. So we can control our cue ball going down. So here's 1 diamond, 2 diamonds, 3 diamonds. It's about 3.5 diamonds down to the chalk. Let's see if I can hit that. Now I should be shooting a 32nd of an inch off center with about a 3.5 diamond stroke, and see how close I can come to it. Okay, come down. You can see it went right through the orange, right towards the chalk. Doesn't get any better than that. You should be able to control your cue ball on that line, anywhere on that line you want, with the stroke that we practice in getting our distances from stroke 1 and 2, and practicing our steps, getting our distances to the different diamonds. Should be in your book. If you haven't got them in your book, get a book. Start putting it together. Okay, now I'm going to go to the yellow, which is a 2-inch cut. This is shot number 2. Now I could take my cue and I could place it over my object ball, my cue ball, touching there, and I can see that from where they're lined up now to the center of the pocket is 2 inches. Well, I know with a high angle shot, 2 inches, my cue ball is going approximately 7 inches off center, 7 to 8 inches off that. So as my cue is resting across here, I can see about 7, 8 inches over. I know that's where my cue ball is going, anywhere on that line. Now, if I have let's say I have a shot down here, and I want to get on that ball, I need to have that cue ball coming down and landing, say right here. I know that the distance is 1, 2, 2.5 diamonds. Well, now I'm trying to go down 2.5 diamonds and land there so I can hit that ball. So now I know how hard I want to hit it. So I know I want to shoot on this particular shot. You're going to shoot a 1/16 of an inch off center, cutting it in there. Your cue ball is going to go down there across the yellow, and I'm going to try to land it right on the yellows. Oh, aim your 1/16 of an inch, nice smooth stroke. All goes in. Go down there and land on your yellow. I was a little bit off, which means I overcut it. Now, we can review the film and see that I was just a hair to the inside of this green dot here. That means if I'm to this side of the green dot, cue ball is going to go to the outside. If I'm in this side of the green dot going towards the pink, cue ball is going to go more towards the inside of this. But if I'm exactly on the green, that's where I'm going to hit. So you have a little bit of leeway there. Let's do shot number 3. Now, shot number 3 is a pink. So if I'm lined up, cue ball to object ball, right here's my joint, my tip. Okay, I'm 3 inches over, 1, 2, 3 inches over. Well, then I know that my cue ball is going to go there, or approximately 10 inches. Okay, so I can count on that. So again, on this game, 3/32 of an inch off center, high English, nice smooth stroke. Well, I've undercut it. I can see that my cue ball went over the pink. That means I undercut that ball and I went to the inside of my pink on here. I'll set the shot back up again. So that was wrong, so let's see if we can hit that. If you're right across the green, you'll be okay. Nice smooth shot. Okay, again, I was to the inside. I'm not cutting enough, just barely the inside, and again the inside. It's important you set these up because that way it tells you exactly, there's no doubt in your mind where you've shot, and if you've missed it, or if you've made it properly. That one's good. And to hit the chalk. That one across the green and to the chalk. 100% right on the money. Okay, now let's go to that 4 inches, which is white. White, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 inches on the cut, and the cue ball should go over here. So I can look at that on the white, and I know that I'm 5, 10, about 19 inches to that. So I'm going to be cutting that in 4 inches, going to equal 19 inches out on my cue ball. And you should have that down in your book. And this is going to be about 1/8 inch off center. Alright, see how I went a little bit wide? I hit the orange, and again, went wide. We'll set our shot up again, and just keep doing this. I want to show you that this is working just perfectly. If you hit where that green is, there's no doubt about it, you're going to hit those chalk. Right on the green. Right across the white. Okay, we're right across there. Just barely missed it. Alright, so that one's working good. I'm hitting my zone. So now we go to a green, which is 5-inch angle. Again, you're lining up from cue ball to object ball. Put your joint there. Okay, I'm right across the green. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches. So I'm shooting that right at about a 1/4 ball over. And I should be going right over these green, which is 5, 10, 15 inches right in there. So it'll be 14 to 16 inches. A nice stroke. Perfect, right on the green. Hits the chalk, perfect. Well, I finally did one right. Okay, so that was working good. Now we have a 6. Okay, our 6th one is orange. There's our orange. There's our cue ball on the dot. Orange on there is orange out here, which is 5, 10, 15, about 19 inches again. So you can see that there's a consistently starting to get in there. Consistency starting to come around at 19 inches is about how far off your cue ball is going to go from your alignment of center. If you take any object ball, you line up on center, it's going to be about 19 to 20 inches. Okay, this one. Go over and get the chalk. Alright. And this continues right on around. As you follow all of these colors, they'll just consistently walk right on around there all the way through, and you'll be able to hit the chalk every time. So this is how to tell, excuse me, this is how to tell where our cue ball is going to go after contact. Now, according to how hard you hit it, then you can go diamonds. So now you're taking the game that we did at first, where you're hitting the cue ball by itself, and then you're hitting the cue ball into a full ball. Now we're starting to see what happens when we cut it thinner. Now, as you start cutting the cue ball into the object ball, and it starts getting thinner and thinner and thinner, you gotta realize that more energy stays in the cue ball and less into the object ball. So as you start getting out to where you're hitting it real thin, the object ball is not going to move very far, but your cue ball is still going to continue traveling. So you have to learn to adjust to how hard you want to hit this. Now, as you start hitting this where maybe half the ball is hitting your object ball, instead of shooting this like you would the first one, where I was shooting full on and try to go down 4 diamonds, 1, 2, 3, 4, I might have to shoot that in a diamond and a half or 2 diamond stroke, depending on how my stroke is and where I'm hitting my cue ball. Now, if I'm hitting my cue ball consistently, really super high, Well, maybe I have to shoot in a 1 diamond stroke. If I don't shoot that high, if I don't feel comfortable getting out that far on the edge, if I'm only going out maybe 1/2 tip or a tip from center, I may have to hit that in a 3 diamond stroke. It's going to depend on the way you look at the cue ball, the way you stroke your cue, the way your cue strikes it, what you feel comfortable with. But the main thing is to shoot the ball, cue ball by itself, and try to get that feeling of what it feels like for those hits on the ball, for a stroke, a 1-inch stroke, or 2 all the way up. And as we go farther into this, I'm going to teach you how to carom off balls and how to stop your ball, and do all the stuff on TV that you see the pros do. But they don't explain this to you. They don't explain the physics of the ball. They're going to show you how to set up a shot like that and shoot into 3 or 4 diamonds to get on the next shot, and that's all well and good. But what I want you to learn how to do is use the minimum amount of pressure to get that cue ball to go where you want on the table. And then from there, you can always increase in power. But for right now, this is what I want you to practice. Go back about 2 diamonds. Line up the first shot with your object ball, and you'll see that these little round tags just about fit perfectly at second diamond back, side by side, to represent your 1s and 2s. And you should line these up, line them up with a ruler, start off center, and then go 1 inch, 2, 3, 4. Now, what you're going to find is you can't go straight across the table because your cue distance is going to change. So as you turn your cue, you want the length of your cue to match up with where your object ball is. So you get kind of a circumference right here. Now you can take your cue and take it off your buddy. Uh-oh. Somebody at the door. There you go. Take your cue off and set on here, and you can kind of swing your cue around like this as you put the tags up there. And then just take the tape measure and measure from here straight on across. Now this represents clear out to 25 inches right here, which is about a 3/4 ball cut. That means you're going to have 3/4 of your ball missing the edge of your object ball. And anything beyond that, you're going to be shooting so thin anyway, the cue ball's still going to be going down there. Well, we'll be getting into thin ball hits and where that cue ball is going to go too. But for right now, let's try this. And I'll be looking forward to see you in the next segment.